Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I thought for my first video I would start out kind of giving you the basics of how to work with an Oracle deck. Oracle decks have been a huge part of my spiritual journey. They have brought a lot of clarity, and honestly I would suggest them to anyone. I think they're really fantastic. So I'm going to go over the basics about, how to pick the right Oracle decks, how they work, how to use them, the whole 9 yards. So first I want to talk about how to choose the perfect Oracle deck. Now, most of the time you can't go through them and, really check them out, so you really have to go by feeling. I've noticed that when I'm kind of, I just want a deck and I'm kind of just like picking just a random one, sometimes, or a lot of times, I don't connect with those as well as the ones that really draw me in. A lot of times if I keep seeing it, like, there might be a deck that I'm not sure that I like, but it keeps grabbing my attention. I try to pay attention to what those decks are, because a lot of times I will randomly go into the store and it will so grip me that I'm like, oh wow, I really need to get that one. Like, it's important to acknowledge how you're feeling about certain things or what things are like catching your eye. Yeah, because there's a lot of them that I wouldn't gravitate towards, but vibrationally, that deck is good for you. So I would go for the ones that really catch your eye and really intrigue you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the one that you'd be most drawn to, like, normally. I mean, like, I'm not super drawn to mermaids as a creature, but I've gotten several mermaid decks and they have been really, really good for me. So, like, pay attention to that. There are hundreds of different Oracle decks, different styles, different art. I have a few decks here kind of arranged so you can kind of see like the difference. This is the deck that has currently been the one I've been working with. I wasn't drawn to this artwork at first. In fact, it kind of turned me off at first, but I got another deck called Les Vampires, and it was really, really good. So this one kind of jumped off the shelf at me when they got the new order in. This is called Myths and Mermaids by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. And her artwork is kind of different. If you see here, it's pretty unusual. It can be a little dark sometimes. This is the deck. Oh, that's the one with the picture on it. This is the deck. She's got some very interesting bits of artwork. I actually really have liked her stuff. Like, I'm starting to like her stuff more. Now, if you look at this guidebook, they have like a little poem, and then there's like 2 pages of information. Now, this is probably like a medium amount of information for a card. It's actually probably more on the less information side. But with each card, you get what the card means, which can be very in-depth or very minimal. But a lot of times, sometimes the minimal ones, it's like all you need. It's like all the information you need in a short sentence, which can be really great if you want to do a quick draw in the morning. So there's ones like that. My all-time favorite deck is the Sacred Rebels by Alana Fairchild. Now, this deck has some beautiful, beautiful art in it. It's a little more new age versus like the mermaid deck, which is a little more fairy tale, obviously. But there is just some really beautiful artwork in this. This deck is so spot on. Like, if I want a really like amazing reading, this is probably the one I'm going to go for. And in this one, the definitions are a lot meatier. If you see this, it's they can be more than 2 pages long, and I love this because it really gives you a really direct, solid reading, but it's also a very gentle deck. Like, it's not going to completely throw you, and a lot of times it's a great way of kind of confirming what you're already feeling. Then on the totally other side of the spectrum, you have the Magical Times empowerment cards, which are, well, extremely fairy tale like and like this, and it's got like a little thing on the bottom. These are great for empowerment and just kind of like a little tidbit of information. These are really beautiful, and the guidebook is extremely small. Like, here's the information for one card, just that little tiny bit there. But these can be really just as on point. Like, it's really quite interesting, and it's really just kind of what you're looking for. Are you looking to do shadow work? Are you interested in seeing new points of view? Are you, you know, interested in enlightenment, being open to new things? I mean, every deck is going to have a different take or different information for you. So that's why, honestly, I have so many decks, because they all are used for many different things. How Oracle decks work is they're not like tarot in the sense of that there's a system or that there's really no interpretation for each card. Like, there's no set rule. Oracle cards are much more fluid and kind of left up to your own interpretation. How they work is you put out a question or just kind of an idea, and what you put out vibrationally is going to connect to one of the cards in the deck, and that card is going to be the one that's going to speak to you most. So it doesn't really matter what cards you draw, it is going to speak to what you're asking. And of course, this, you have to believe it's going to work, or you know, you're not going to send out the right frequency. So it's important to trust in that process, but that's how it works. It's a vibrational thing. Like, each card has a different vibration. Like, this is Release the Dark Wound, Let Love Live. Now, you may ask a specific question that this card speaks to, and this card has a very specific vibration. So you will pull this card if that's what you need. It's pretty much basic science. So that's a little bit how they actually work. Now, I'm just going to go through a quick way you can use Oracle cards. Obviously, it's kind of like whatever you're drawn to do, what feels best to you in the moment. And I'll do different types of card pulling, but this would be probably my most typical way. So what I like to do is I like to shuffle the cards. And while I'm shuffling the cards, I start to think about, what is it I want to know? And it could be anything from a very specific question to, hey, give me some wisdom for today. Like, give me a new perspective. You know, it could be very simple. So as I shuffle the cards, I think about that. I try to clear my mind a bit, kind of get into that space. And sometimes I'll shuffle it once or twice. Sometimes I'll shuffle it for a good 5 minutes, you know? And it's that really puts your energy in it and opens up the vibrations. So once you're shuffling, there's a couple ways you can pull a card. What I've been doing recently is I just put it down on the desk and kind of feel the cards with my fingers, kind of like this. And then I will just stop where I feel, I don't know, I just feel like it's comfortable. And then the card here is the card that I would choose. Ironically, this is the card I just pulled, which I just pulled 5 seconds ago. Obviously, this means something. But anyway, so we'll go with that. Or what you can do is you can fan them out on the desk. Sorry, I don't have the camera down there. Like this. And you can put your hand over them, and sometimes your hand will get warm, or you'll just sense one, and you can pull it. Now, you can pull 1 card, 3 cards, 5 cards. It doesn't really matter. And all of those cards will be relevant, and they may speak to different parts of that situation. Typically, I do a 1 card draw if it's just kind of for like an enlightening kind of like new way of seeing things. But if it's a really serious question, you know, I'll pull 3 cards and one will, you know, and I'll put them in order of like how I should look at them. And, you know, I'll open the deck in 3 different spots and I'll pull those 3 cards. Oh, I forgot to mention, like, before you draw a card, just like very clearly have what you want asked in your mind as you're drawing the card. That's really important. Once you do that, now some people go straight to the book and the definition, and that is totally fine. A lot of people do that when they're just first getting into the Oracle decks and really trying to figure out how they work. I like to sit with the card, if I have the time, and really look at the image and kind of see what it means to me. So this says, release the dark wound, let love live. So I go, okay, what does that mean to me? What does this card show to me? Now it's got the fish releasing. Now you can see the skeleton of the fish and the person. So, you know, maybe that's talking about a physical wound, or, you know, like something to do trapped in the body, letting go of something that maybe hurt you in the past, so that you can love better. Actually, I know why I got this card. And so you can move on from that. I mean, that's what I get from this picture. And I've never drawn this card. I really don't know. So I try to sit with that and kind of see what it does for me. And honestly, that intuition could be more important to you and could awaken thoughts you need to have even more than what the definition in the book means. So trust yourself on that. So then after I sit with the card for a minute, 5 minutes, whatever feels good. I mean, you can even meditate with the card. You don't even have to go to the guidebook. Like, this is all about trusting your intuition. That's really important. So this is card 25. So I won't read the whole definition. So here's the definition, and I can read through this and, you know, get a clear idea. And then after this, which is what I really like about this, there's a healing process, and you can sit and do this healing process to bring in the energy of that card for healing. So that's really cool. Honestly, oracle cards have been a great way to tap in to my intuition and into what's right for me. I mean, there's a lot of times I'll feel something and I don't trust it, and then I'll pull it like a similar subject 3 different times from 3 different decks, and I'm like, okay, universe, I get it, you know? And it's really important to look at those things. I mean, it comes up for a reason. And if you put the question out there, an answer will come to you. That's just kind of how it works. Universe. So this is my, introduction to using oracle cards. If you have any questions at all, feel free to comment down below. And also you can follow me on Instagram at We Create Our World, or you can follow my Facebook page, which is Rebecca Laurel, Lady of Light Soul Awakening. And I post stuff on there. I post, sometimes I'll post my draw for that day or just uplifting things. I will be posting my videos there as well. And kind of the same with my Instagram. I post a lot of the stuff, you know, crystals I'm working with, oracle decks I get, all that kind of stuff. If you have a request for me to talk about something or an oracle deck you'd like me to review that you've seen on my Instagram, feel free to ask. Any video ideas you have, let me know and I might do it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and a good end of your winter. Love and light to you. Namaste.